everyone. Welcome to English for You. I'm Kat.
And I'm Elsie.
And today we're talking about sports.
Sports. Ooh, do you like to play sports?
Not really. I mean, I get my exercise in other ways, but nah, I'm not really a sports kind of person. There's a few that I've played that I liked, but I'm not really good at them.
Oh, I used to try to play basketball.
Oh, yeah?
When I was in senior high school, but I was not good at it. And I didn't have much time.
Oh, yeah. I played basketball when I was in elementary school, and I also tried softball. I tried taekwondo. I tried
karate.
No. Taekwondo and then kendo, the Japanese.
What about judo?
No. Only those two for martial arts. And then volleyball in junior high and track and field.
Well, you did a lot, actually.
I tried a lot. I wasn't good at any of them.
At least you tried.
I was actually kind of good at kendo. But anyway, we're not actually talking about any certain kind of sport today. We're talking about, a factor that is important in doing sports, which is sportsmanship.
Oh, 运动家精神.
Yeah. So are you a competitive person?
I think I used to, but not now anymore.
I think I have a competitive streak, which means there's a part of me that comes out that can be competitive. But I think I use it in a healthier way now, and
That's good.
I don't get angry when I lose at things anymore. Yeah, but we are talking about, what does it take to be a good sportsman, a good sports person, like a good opponent, somebody who's good to play sports with or against. So let's get right in the article, and we'll talk about it a little bit more.
Reading.
Being a good sport. Imagine this. You've just won an important tennis match. It was a tough battle, and you want to shake your opponent's hand afterward. However, he refuses, spits on the ground, and walks away. Would you like this if it happened to you? Of course you wouldn't. And your opponent wouldn't like it if you started showing off and laughing at their tennis abilities. Both of these show bad sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship is all about being fair and showing respect to the people you're playing with or against. You can still play hard, but you also need to be polite and accept you can't win every time. Good sportsmanship means having a positive attitude, even if you're losing. For one thing, you should support your teammates rather than complaining about them. For another, you should congratulate your opponents for winning or simply playing well. It's also important to show respect to the match officials and the fans who came to the game. All of these things will make people admire you and respect you in turn.
All right, so the article starts out, imagine this. You've just won an important tennis match.
今天文章一开头呢，要我们想象这样的一件事情，想象你刚赢得一场重要的网球比赛。那这里的比赛呢，用的是 match 这个字，也就是 game。或是我们要说 competition, contest， 好，这些都是比赛。
Yeah, so, I mean, with tennis, the whole thing from beginning to end, when you actually win, is the match. The game is one part of that.
Right.
Yeah, but there are other sports where, like, a soccer game or a soccer match, you could call it both of those. So, you've just won an important tennis match. Woohoo! Good job! It was a tough battle, and you want to shake your opponent's hand afterward. That sounds like a nice thing to do. Because it was a tough battle. So battle, usually you hear about this in the context of war, like soldiers fighting each other, but it can also be a not war kind of thing. It can be like a fight between people or different groups where each side is trying to win a contest, like a tennis game, or maybe an election, or they're trying to gain control of something. Like if you say parents often battle with their kids over, things like who's doing the chores, whether their kids have done their homework, things like that. So in this context, we can get this example sentence. The whole country will be watching the battle over who will be the next president of Taiwan. So next we have opponent. You want to shake your opponent's hand. Your opponent is the person you are competing against. It's a person, or it could be a whole team or a whole group. So if you're in soccer, your opponent will be the other team. Yeah, it's basically the person you are against in a contest. Not your enemy, because you don't hate them. You just are playing against them. And what do you want to do? You want to shake their hand afterward, after the end of the match. Afterward is kind of like after. It's at a later time after something else has happened. In this case, the tennis match. So you use it at the end of a sentence or phrase instead of after. You add on this suffix W-A-R-D. That's an ending for adverbs to show direction. So you can see it in other words like downward, like you're going down, onward, going on, or going forward. Oh, forward is another one. Or even directions like northward or southward or toward. Those are all word kind of words that you use at the end of or in the middle of a sentence. So for an example for afterward, you could say, my friends and I sat quietly through the whole movie, but we talked about it for a long time afterward.
OK， 来帮同学们整理一下咯。我们第一个看到的 battle 这边代表的是竞争或是较量，当然它也可以指的是战争当中的一场战役。那在课文当中我们看到的是 a tough battle， 用 tough 来形容这一场的比赛是相当艰难的。那再来呢，艰难的比赛一定是对手很厉害，对手敌手我们用到的是 opponent 这个字。那你可能会想到可不可以用 enemy， 但其实不太一样哦。 enemy 是你讨厌的敌人， opponent 只是你比赛当中竞争的对手。那再来呢，这个副词 afterward 是之后后来。所以呀，You want to shake your opponent's hand after the match.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people will want to do this. That's a usual practice in sports.
Yeah.
You go up, you shake hands, or you high five and you say, good game.
That's a polite thing to do.
Or GG in video games. However, he refuses, spits on the ground, and walks away. It's very rude. Very rude to spit. So spitting is our next vocab word. Please don't do this. So spit means to force saliva out of your mouth. Saliva is your 口水, right?
口水,
Yeah, 口水. Yeah, it's yeah. So to force it from your mouth, basically, that's spitting.
Right.
Or you can force something else out of your mouth, like you have food or gum in your mouth. You spit out your food, like maybe if it's gross. You spit out your gum into the trash can. You can even spit words if you are like very angry and you just like, I don't like it. That's spitting your words. So spitting on the ground is a way to show disrespect to somebody. So the rude child, here's an example sentence, sorry. The rude child got in big trouble for spitting in her teacher's face.
Ew.
Yeah, ew.
Spit 这个动词是吐口水、吐痰或是吐东西。Just don't spit anything from your mouth.
You can spit like when you're brushing your teeth. You can spit things in the trash.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those are probably two okay situations to spit.
那这个字呢，它的三态呢有两组哦。第一组是三态同形 spit, spit, spit。第二组呢是 spit, spat, spat。结果啊，你的对手并不想跟你握手哦，他吐口水在地上，然后离开。
Yeah, pretty gross. And yeah, in most cultures, some cultures it's not, but in most cultures it's considered very disrespectful to spit spit at or spit on somebody.
Right.
Yeah, like very, very bad insult.
So, would you like this if it happened to you?
Of course not.
Yeah.
Who would like it?
Who would? I mean, only people in those cultures where spitting is considered respectful, but those are...
Like in what kind of cultures?
There's African tribes where they will spit on your face to show that you are part of their family.
Oh my God.
Diana Ross, the singer, went to visit her ancestral tribe in Africa, and when they spit on her face, she got really mad. But she didn't know
it's very
that
dirty.
Yeah, but they were trying to show like you're in our tribe, you're in our family.
Yeah.
But it's very, uncommon, like in the global culture, like the developed countries, very uncommon to see that now.
Yeah. OK, 那这边还看到了一个是 if 的用法，就到了我们今天的 language in focus。这边的 if 在说的是与现在事实相反的假设语气哦。假设语气呢，用来表示不可能实现的愿望、想象、目的，或是极不可能发生的事情，或是呢与事实相反的假设。通常会用 if 子句带出假设语气，那 if 子句呢会使用过去简单式， 即可用来表达与现在事实相反的假设哦。主要子句呢，则需要使用带有过去意思的情态助动词，也就是 would, could, should, might。好，你必须要选一个出来使用。所以句型是呢 if 加上主词之后加上 be 动词，如果你要用 be 动词，那你就用 were 这个字。好，如果不用 be 动词，用一般动词的话，记得用的是过去式一般动词。再来逗点之后再加上主词，再来就是刚刚提到的 would, could, should, might， 你要选一个，选好之后后面要加上原形动词哦。So for example, if I had all the time and money in the world,I would travel to different countries. 代表呢，如果我有全世界的钱和时间，我就会到不同的国家去旅游。那再来还有一个动词 wish， 它也可以运用在与现在事实相反的假设语气句子当中，意思是希望点点点可以发生，但是可能性是几乎为零，好，几乎不可能。那注意哦，在正式的写作当中，不管 wish 前方的主词为何，后方所使用的过去式 be 动词一样，还要用的是 were 这个字。So for example, Peter wishes he were a famous singer.Peter 希望自己是一位有名的歌手，那事实是 Peter 不是这样子，他不是有名的歌手，而且这不太可能实现。
So, I mean, would you like it if this happened to you? Of course you wouldn't. And your opponent wouldn't like it if you started showing off and laughing at their tennis abilities. Both of these show bad sportsmanship. Yeah, so we already talked about what sportsmanship is, what it means, but basically it is fair play, like playing fair, not cheating, having respect for your opponents, and showing polite behavior when you're competing in a sport or other kinds of competitions you can show sportsmanship too, like if you're in a chess competition or maybe a debate competition, any kind of competition with other people, you can show sportsmanship. It doesn't have to be a sport.
那接下来我们看到刚刚 Kat 已经提到的字 sportsmanship， 这个字代表的是运动家精神，所以当你看到一个字的字尾是 ship， 它常常跟前面的名词连用，那表示该名词相关的能力跟技巧，所以像是工匠叫做 craftsman， 所以呢手工艺技术就是 craftsmanship。那柯文说啊，你当然不会希望对手是这个样子，而你的对手也不会希望你开始炫耀并且嘲笑他的网球技术，这两者都展现不良的运动家精神。
So you don't want to show off at people when you win. You don't want to be a bad sport when you lose. So show good sportsmanship. So we're talking about what do you do to show good sportsmanship. The article says good sportsmanship is all about being fair and showing respect to the people you're playing with or against.
Yes, and don't get too cocky when you win. 赢的时候对，不要太自信。And don't be too frustrated when you lose.
Boo! Yeah.
输的时候也不要太挫折、太难过。所以课文说呢，良好的运动家精神要公平竞争，并且对自己的队友和对手表示尊重。
So, yeah, definitely. Don't win bad, don't lose bad. That's not proper English, but don't win badly, don't lose badly. You can still play hard, but you also need to be polite and accept you can't win every time.
是的，你仍然可以为了胜利全力以赴，但是你要是有礼貌的，并且接受呢，你不是永远都能够赢的这个事实。
I think that's more hard to accept for professional sports players because their whole job is to win, but also they still need to be gracious and polite when they don't.
Yes.
Yeah. So, good sportsmanship means having a positive attitude, even if you're losing. Yeah, of course, we don't want to show a bad face. So, attitude is about showing your face. It's the way you think and feel about something or someone. And usually you say, like, somebody's attitude is good, bad, positive, negative. You could say their attitude is careless, anything like that. And usually you would use this with toward. So having a positive attitude toward losing, well, not toward losing, but a positive attitude when you lose means you still act nicely. You still say like, hey, I did my best. You know, it's still okay. I think I didn't fail so badly. So, for example, you could say, John has a pretty bad attitude toward his new neighbors, even though I think they're nice. So that means he doesn't act politely around them. Now, you have to have a positive attitude even if you're losing. So even if this phrase is used to stress something is going to happen or that something should happen, in spite of something else that might keep it from happening. So even if you're losing, like you might lose, but still you should have a positive attitude.
OK， 所以看回来到 attitude 这个字，它代表的是心态跟态度。这里我们用 positive 来形容它，代表是一个正面的态度 ，a positive attitude。那如果是负面的，我们就用的是 negative。然后我们也可以说 don't get too negative when you lose， 也就是不要太负面。好，有时候输其实蛮正常的。再来呢 even if 代表是即使尽管，给同学们一个例句咯 Even if Julia's mom is mad at her, she still makes her breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Wow.
代表呢，虽然她生气她的女儿，但是还是帮她做早餐、午餐还有晚餐。那课文这边说到的是 back to the article， 良好的运动家精神具备正向的态度，即便是输的情况。
So, yeah, you have to have a positive attitude. For one thing, you should support your teammates rather than complaining about them. That's definitely true. When you are on a team, you have to support each other or you're going to make each other feel bad, and then you'll play worse. So we have this phrase at the beginning, for one thing, and then you'll see it followed by for another. Those two always go together. They list two reasons or facts in order in two sentences. So like, number one, this. Number two, this. So we're about to see for another in a different sentence.
一方面呢，你要支持你的队友 rather than complaining about them. Rather than 代表的是而不是，还可以用 instead of. 所以我们要支持队友，而不是抱怨他们。那 for one thing 这个片语呢，接下来会搭配的是 for another.
For another, you should congratulate your opponents for winning or simply playing well. There's that for another. So, like we said, for one thing, for another, they always go together. So, first, support your teammates. For another, congratulate your opponents. Congratulate somebody means tell somebody that you're happy because of their success or their good luck. Say, congratulations, 恭喜. You know, it's just saying that you're happy for somebody.
Or we can say congrats.
Yeah, congrats. It's a short way.
也是恭喜的意思。好，所以刚刚讲到的 for one thing 跟 for another thing， 有的时候呢 for another thing 的那个 thing 会被省略掉啊，代表的是说明一方面如何如何，另一方面如何如何。所以课文这边说到，另一方面你应该要恭喜对手打得很好，赢得了这场比赛。所以讲到了恭喜、祝贺这个字是 congratulate。那刚刚也说呢，我们还可以用 congratulations 这个字，好，单单用这个字来跟人家说恭喜，或者是 congrats。
So say congratulations, congrats, congratulate your opponents. Say good game, you did well. So, yeah, going on with the article, it's also important to show respect to the match officials and the fans who came to the game. So you show respect. When you have respect, it means you show politeness. Let's say you say thank you. You might not get angry, don't yell. You play well, you don't quit early so that the fans aren't disappointed. It's basically you show politeness and do your best. And who are you doing this for? Partially the fans, but also the match officials. So an official might be somebody in charge of a company or something like that, but here it means a person who makes sure that players are following the rules of a game. Usually you're talking about the referee, the ref, who is the person wearing the black and white striped shirt. They make the calls, they give flags where they have to, they blow the whistle. Or an umpire, who is in baseball, the person who is standing behind the catcher in the batting area. So they're the person who makes the calls in baseball. So officials like that, who are trying to make sure everybody follows the rules and that nothing is going badly, those are officials. So, for an example sentence, you could say, the fans were unhappy with the official's call on the play, so they booed him.
Ooh, they booed him.
Boo. Yeah, well, we're actually going to see that in day 2.
Right, tomorrow we'll talk about this word.
Yes, boo.
那这边看到的 official 指的是体育比赛当中的官员、裁判或是评审哦。当然呢 official 也可以是政府官员。那再来有一个跟它很相近的字是 officer， 它代表是警官。对象是 police officers 警察，这个大家都知道。那再来啊，尊重某人可以用这样子的说法 show respect to somebody。那我们要尊重裁判和到场的球迷。
All right, so all of these things will make people admire you and respect you in turn. So definitely, when you treat people with respect, you get respect back. You get their admiration. They admire you. So to admire somebody means to feel respect or approval for someone or something. So like if you show approval, it means you say like, yes, I think this is a good person. I think they have things about them that I would like to be like. If you admire somebody, you say like, oh my gosh, I think they're such a good person and I want to be more like them. So yeah, that's a very good thing to feel for somebody. And an example sentence, Maya really admires her mother for how hard she worked to give her kids a good life. And then people will admire you in turn. So doing things like showing respect to the match officials, showing respect to the fans, congratulating your opponents, not complaining about your teammates. Those all make people respect you in turn. In turn means as a result.
Okay, so admire 是钦佩、敬佩。好，名词是 admiration， 所以这边讲到的是呢，你所做的事情啊，会让人家呢很钦佩你，好，就是做的那些有礼貌的事情，人家会钦佩你，而且会更尊敬你哦。那 in turn 代表就是因此继而，你先对人家有礼貌，自然而然你的球迷或是他们的球迷也会尊敬你。
So that's about showing good sportsmanship. Tomorrow we will look at some examples of when people showed particularly good sportsmanship. I think often people focus on the bad things that happen in sports, but to remember when people showed really good sportsmanship is, it's also really important. So we're going to look at that tomorrow. For now, we're done with day 1, so let's go to our For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, our chat question for today is, how do you react when you win a game? What about when you lose?
When I win, of course, I'll get very excited, very happy. And I try not to get cocky.
Yeah, I think I don't play a whole lot of games against other people, but when I do, I try and be very gracious. I always tell everybody, GG, you did well. And if other people are mad, I try and calm them down.
Oh, so some people do get mad.
Yeah, I mean, especially if, I play a lot of video games. So if you play online games, you often find people who act very childishly and they show really bad sportsmanship. And so, sometimes you can't, you can't snap them out of it. You can't be like, okay, you're being a little too much. Please stop. But sometimes, you just need to tell them like, hey, it's okay. It's just a game. And sometimes they will calm down and you can keep playing.
Right. What about when you lose?
When I lose, I've learned how to lose well. So when I lose, I just try again.
Yeah, just try again and see where you can improve yourself. And
exactly.
How. Yeah.
I don't get mad anymore. Anyway,
that's good.
Yeah, so that's all for day 1. And we will see you in day 2 for the next time. Bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Battle. It was a battle among the workers to sell the most cars by the end of the month. Afterward. Let's go to the movies first. We can eat dinner afterward. Spit. It's bad manners to spit in public, especially near other people. Attitude. I don't like Barry's attitude. He's lazy and often very rude to people. Official. The official saw that the player's foot touched the base before the other team caught the ball. Admire. Nelson admires his mother greatly and wants to become a doctor just like her.
智慧小补帖
Opponent. Congratulate.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net。